What's up, YouTube? This is Tien, bringing you an update on our 3.3 Incursion Atlas strategy. And today I just wanted to talk about kind of the update on our Elder Square. And I have a clip of me running Elder Toxic Sewers in the background. And this was actually a big portion of our strategy. So go ahead and just watch this map with me as we find some loot. I think we just picked up a map a little bit earlier. And you can see we're picking up a bunch of maps, T14 and below. And this kind of goes into our strategy post burial chambers. So at the very beginning of the league, I tried farming burial chambers, didn't have a ton of luck. And then I kind of went into my normal Atlas strategy of farming high tier maps and then selling maps tier 14 and below. I really like the strategy and I really like the maps that we chose. And I'll kind of explain this a little bit later when we get into game and I open up my Atlas. But the biggest thing about this particular strategy is that we picked a small map like Toxic Sewers to allow us to get a whole bunch of incursions, and we're actually doing an incursion right now. And this allowed us to increase our temples per hour. And if you don't know, in Incursion League, incursions in the temple are the new mechanic, which I really like a lot. I think it's fun. You get to double corrupt some items. I'll show you guys my Piscators that I double corrupted a little later in the video. I just really enjoyed the new league mechanic and have been having a blast doing it. Speaking of blast, we're using this new sweet Kinetic Blast MTX. Anyways, our strategy involves basically farming these really small maps, which is kind of opposite, I think, of more sustain type strategies where you're doing larger maps like Haunted Mansion or maybe Underground Sea. And getting a ton of map returns. You know, we still do a ton to our map, and so our map returns are still pretty good. But, you know, doing this smaller map kind of allows you to sustain. So there you can see we finished up our map there. And let me hop into game and show you guys our Atlas. So our Atlas strategy basically involves doing Toxic Sewer, ping pong back and forth, and our backup map, which you can see our other Atlas strategy videos for what a backup map is. But our backup map is a bog map. So basically how I have our Atlas set up is we have basically every map 14 and below completed, but 15s and 16s are uncompleted. So we only get Toxic Sewer and bog maps. So if you see in my map stash tab here, I have a whole bunch of Toxic Sewers and a whole bunch of shaped bogs. And you know, that's not an accident. We did that on purpose in order to make sure that these drop a whole bunch. Since I know I'm gonna get the question on how I sustain these maps, I just want to show you guys how I roll these maps. So the first thing I'll do is I'll search for quality 20, and right now these are grayed out because they're not quality 20. And so as I use chisels on them, they'll become highlighted as they become quality 20. And we want to chisel all these up to quality 20. And then I'll search for the word rare, and they're not highlighted because they're normal. But as I use alchemies on them, they'll become highlighted. And then I'm going to check for reflect. 2 of these got reflect, so I'll go ahead and scour those off. And then hit them again. That one rolled reflect again. Going to roll that off. Okay, and now none of these are reflect. Now I'm going to search corrupted, and they'll become highlighted once I corrupt them all. A few things can happen. Here's an example of something that can happen that's quote-unquote bad. But because of our Elder Square strategy, these corrupted ones that turn into cemeteries or phantasmagorias we'll actually use to kind of help maintain our Elder Square. So you can see here I have a few Elder Cemeteries and Elder Phantasmagorias, but you'll see why that's useful later. I'm going to go ahead and just check for reflect again, and then I'll run these when I get the reflect sextant. You can see I'm keeping all my un-IDs here. I check for beyond and keep all my beyonds over here for when we get that sextant. But yeah, so our Elder Square basically involves keeping the Elder Influence in Bone Crypt, Mud Geyser, Dunes, and Phantasmagoria. Those are the 4 maps that really matter that you want Elder Influence in. You can see here I shaped Dunes and Shore. So these are maps that I'll run sometimes if there's no influence on Toxic Sewer or Bog. Right now there's influence on both, so I don't really have to worry about it. Very rarely am I running maps that are not Toxic Sewer and Bog, but every once in a while, if Elder Influence wanders too far north, I might have to do Waste Pool. Sometimes I'll run like Orchard or Shaped Vault or something like that. Sometimes I'll run Cemetery if he wanders too far up the left here. and then sometimes I'll run shore or dunes if he wanders too far to the right. But yeah, the strategy's been very good. You can see us farming those toxic sewers in the previous clip, and the temples have just been really good in terms of map sustain, the fun corruptions and things like that. We got this sweet Piscator's double corruption with the damage pen and the crit strike chance, so that was pretty awesome. And we've been making a lot of currency. We don't have too much time played. 4 days and 7 hours. I guess that is kind of a lot of time played. But we have a lot to show for it. We've been kind of stacking up our currency, lots of items in order to roll maps, ton of chaos, and a big map pool that just allows us to keep spamming temples and incursions. Anyways, that's it for this Atlas strategy update. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the content, and I will see you guys in the next video. Thanks for stopping by.